Among the stars that we get to see on Wednesday night at the HEB Center in Cedar Park, three of my favorite dudes. They have been so successful throughout AEW and even beyond, and especially right here in Austin. And not to mention just multi-talented gentlemen. These three guys joining us on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky. They are collectively known as
SCU!
Hello, boys. How are you?
Doing
Awesome.
great, man. Thanks for having us.
What up? Great intro.
Well, you know, I try to do my best when it comes to you guys. Before I get to the wrestling stuff, Sky, I know you were in Miami, as was I, at Super Bowl 54. Your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs getting the Lombardi Trophy?
It was a great game, really entertaining. There was a lot of electricity in the audience, and Olivia Benson was sitting in front of me, so I mean, I can't really complain about anything. I'm not even sure who won. I saw the until you told me.
Yeah, I saw the Instagram photos. You were pretty enamored with her, weren't you?
I'm a big SVU fan. I have to be careful the way I say it because SCU, SVU, it kind of gets confusing. So
yeah, believe me, I understand completely. So, guys, and Chris, I want to start with you. Let's look back the first year of AEW. Give me your thoughts, because it seems by every metrics you can find, it was nothing less than an absolute blowout success for All Elite Wrestling in 2019.
Well, yeah, definitely. I feel like the anticipation was there ever since we had the pep rally in Jacksonville in January. And, the first pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, and then the subsequent events that led up to the first episode of Dynamite. I feel like we had a great little bit of momentum going up to that point. And then once television started, it was just a complete avalanche of momentum behind us. I feel like we've had the fans on our side from day one, and the fact that TNT announced the extension into 2023 for the television show after 14 weeks, 13 weeks, I can't remember exactly, but just not even 4 months worth of television, and we've already been extended. That to me says tons about their confidence in our product and their confidence in the fans' support of our product.
And the fans have been absolutely supportive. I was lucky enough to be in the DFW area as well as Corpus Christi when AEW swung through there, and the fans were just hot as could be from start to finish. Frankie, for those few people that may have been living under a rock, explain All Elite Wrestling. Explain what the fans are going to see when you guys come to the HEB Center at Cedar Park on Wednesday.
To be honest, you're going to see the most fan-friendly pro wrestling product out there. We, kind of our mission statement from day one was that this is basically a promotion for the fans, by fans, because all of us, and when I say us, I include SCU in this conversation, but Kenny and Cody and the Bucks and Tony, we're all fans first and foremost of pro wrestling, and we're all fans that were kind of discouraged by the landscape, discouraged by the fact that there was only that, one entity, that one place for guys to go and that one place for people to watch. And we really wanted to change. We say change the universe. That's a bold statement. And people say, you can't change the universe. Well, we're doing our damnedest to try. And I think that there's a legion of fans that have been on board with us since day one. And that legion is growing, week by week, every Wednesday. And you're going to see just a different wrestling product. If you've seen professional wrestling live, I implore you to check us out live, because our show is just different. It's fan-friendly. I can promise if you stay till the very, very end, you're going to get a pleasant surprise, especially if you're in the first couple of rows. And the action, the in-ring action speaks for itself. There's nothing I can say that's going to embellish that. We got literally some of the best wrestlers in the world, some of the best tag team wrestlers in the world. We have top-notch production, the best production guys in the world. I feel like we're firing on all cylinders, and I welcome everybody to come be a part of that and experience it live, especially if you're on the fence. If you just watch us casually and you haven't seen us live, come watch us live, and I can almost guarantee you that we will make you a fan. It's like if you go to a concert and you see a band that you love and you see somebody open for them that you've never really heard of, and you watch them and you go, wow, I love their live show. I love the sound. I'm a fan. I guarantee you, come watch AEW Wrestling, you're going to be a fan for life.
And, of course, AEW coming to the HEB Center in Cedar Park. There is no bad seat in there. Of course, the home of the Austin Spurs of the G League as well as the Texas Stars of the AHL. So a great arena, great seats. AEWTix.com for tickets. And, by the way, we are giving away a few pair. Go to the contest page at hornfm.com and see how you can possibly win a pair of tickets to see AEW Dynamite Wednesday night in Cedar Park. Sky, you and I have spent a lot of time here in the ATX together. I know you guys like to say every town is the worst town that you've ever been in, but I got a feeling that of all of them, Austin, Texas is the least worst town outside of SoCal.
Yeah, Austin has been a really pivotal place for me and a very important town that over the last, say, 4 years, I've connected with the fan base there, and I've had a lot of great matches there and created memories, obviously, myself and Cody and all the times I had with Wrestle Circus there, and kind of, I feel, stepped my career up to the next level in Austin, Texas. And, they call it the California of Texas, and it's kind of appropriate because we're SoCal guys and we obviously love Southern California, but Austin for me has been almost the second home. So I'm excited to get back there.
Excited to see all three of you guys. The last time I saw you guys, you were here for Inspire Pro and had such a great match there, and it's going to be so much fun to see you guys in the HEB Center at Cedar Park. Let's talk about what's coming up. So, coming up on Wednesday night, Frankie, you and Sky, the former AEW Tag Team Champions, you get a shot at regaining those belts by facing Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, the current champions. What can we look forward to? What is that one weakness that you guys saw in that match that gives you confidence you're going to regain those tag team belts?
Well, right off the bat, the one weakness we saw and that we plan on exploiting is the fact that as great as both of those wrestlers are, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, two guys I have nothing but utmost respect for, at the end of the day, they're singles wrestlers who happen to form a really good tag team. But Scorpio and I, just like CD and I, are a well-oiled machine. And yes, on that day, on that cruise, they were the better team and they won the titles. And to be honest, it honestly pisses us off to be called former tag team champions because we planned on keeping those titles for a very long time. That match on the cruise was one of the most physically and mentally grueling ones that we've had. Maybe the most physical and grueling match that Sky and I have had as a tag team. But we've learned from that. We're going to pick ourselves up. We're going to dust ourselves off. And we're going to get our tag team titles back because we believe in ourselves. We believe in SCU. And I can't think of a better town to do it in than Austin, Texas.
I can't either. And Chris, I know that you've been active in the ring, but you're also doing a lot of the talent development behind the scenes. Talk for a second about how much you're enjoying your work with a lot of the young wrestlers. I talk to Dustin Rhodes all the time, and he just loves the coaching he's doing with the women. And I know you've been doing a lot of coaching as well. Just talk about the talent development that you've been doing in AEW.
Well, I feel like part of my job, part of the reason that I was even brought into AEW was to sort of help guys. We hired a lot of people that had never really worked on television before and never really had that mentality of how to make your wrestling television friendly. And so with my experience with Impact Wrestling and with Ring of Honor Wrestling, I think that was part of the reasoning behind having me be behind the scenes is helping folks sort of figure out the difference between wrestling in front of a live crowd and wrestling for a television audience. And so, it's been really great to be able to sort of lend my experience to guys like, Darby Allin and Joey Janela and Private Party and, to sort of see them finding out these tricks and these nuances of television wrestling and sort of learning on the fly as we all are. It's been a lot of fun and I feel like I'm certainly doing my part as far as like giving back to pro wrestling the way that guys ahead of me sort of helped me out. I feel like I'm doing my part now, helping them out. and sort of building AEW's roster to be the best that it can be.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I mean, I love watching the young talent getting their shine on, getting a chance to show their skills, and guys like you that have been through the wars. This is 26 years, right, Chris?
27.
27. Yeah, you're so guys like you and some of the veterans being able to impart that wisdom, it's a great thing to watch. Talking with SoCal Uncensored, SCU Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels. Follow them on Twitter, Chris at FAC Daniels, Frankie at Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky at Scorpio Sky. Frankie, I saw a highlight, I think it was on your Instagram page. You and your band Gutter Candy got to play Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A. I know that was a huge thrill for you. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I had put out a tweet or an Instagram post or maybe both talking about how coming up in wrestling, you hear about these venues like Cork and Hall and the ECW Arena and, smaller venues like that, but just venues that have such a rich history and just it's kind of like on everybody's bucket list when you come up and you're like, wow, I really want to wrestle. At least it was for me. I can't speak for everyone. At least it was for me. So being a young music fan, I would go to shows on the Sunset Strip at venues like the Whiskey and the Troubadour and the Roxy and spots like that and see my favorite bands there. And, you think of the Whiskey and you think of the guys that have played there, everybody from, Led Zeppelin and Rush and obviously Metallica and Ozzy and Motley Crue and Poison and Rat and just it goes on and on. Anybody who's everybody has played there. So, being in a band basically that plays small clubs and dive bars for, a couple drunks or maybe a couple hundred drunks, it was a thrill of a lifetime just to get on that stage, to be in those dressing rooms where all that debauchery took place, and just to rock the Whiskey stage with a hot crowd with good sound. The good set with my band was honestly the thrill of a lifetime. Something I never thought I would get to do because pro wrestling has been my primary life and what I spent years and years and years doing for a living, supporting my family. Now I have this opportunity with music, and I'm getting out there more, and that was a huge stepping stone. Definitely a dream come true bucket list type moment, and it just gave me the fuel and the inspiration to want to do more gigs like that and even bigger.
I love. Being a kid of the '80s, kind of like you, Frankie. When I saw that warmed my heart because I'm kind of in that same wheelhouse. I love that the heavy metal, the Motley Crues and such, and to see you, who just appreciates music so well, to be able to play a venue like that. I know that's a huge deal. I would love, if I had any power, I'd love to get you guys booked at Antone's here in Austin, one of the legendary music venues here in the live music capital of the world, and see Gutter Candy play on the same stage as Stevie Ray Vaughan and B.B. King and all the great blues guitarists that come through Austin. Scorpio Sky, I want to ask this. This is because, again, you and I have had several nights of wrestling and stuff here in the ATX, so after the show is over and everybody's looking for something to eat, you tell me where we're going to get the post event meal in Austin.
Honestly, I don't even know. I never really got a chance to go out and
really
explore the restaurants too. But no, I haven't actually. I was always kind of in the downtown area. Was it like 6th Street?
Yeah, we were always.
And one of my favorites was what was that?
Yeah, about downtown 8th and Congress. Yeah, I remember.
Yep. I always tried to go and dip into one of those little hole-in-the-wall spots and grab a big slice of pizza or something after a match.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some good restaurants that I've heard about. Nothing that I can name off the top of my head, but there were always someone saying, oh, go here, go there. But usually, after we got out of those Wrestle Circus shows late at night, it was just like, let me get to the first thing I can get. And that was right there. They had a couple of little mom and pop pizza spots that I always like to go to.
Yeah, Rapolo's Pizza is probably the most popular one on East 6th Street, and it was also always which ones were still open too, because we ran pretty late on those Wrestle Circus shows. SCU, so good to talk. Hey, I want to get one quick thing, and I want each of you to answer this. This past week on Dynamite, the last segment where Cody Rhodes is getting the 10 lashes. And watching that was so emotional. I know a lot of the wrestlers were watching that. I wanted to get your thoughts on the emotions you felt when you saw MJF whipping Cody Rhodes with the belt.
Well, I'll start since I'm the eldest member. The thing that sort of stands out for me is that this wasn't like, a lot of times it's not the first time that guys have been lashed in professional wrestling. But I mean, this particular instance, this was a choice that was made. This wasn't the result of a match where it was like you lost a match and you had to take 10 lashes. This was entirely voluntary on Cody's part. And that to me just speaks to the drive and just the mentality of Cody Rhodes, how badly he wants to get a bit of vengeance from MJF. And I mean, the fact that he knew, like, he would to even get the match, he would have to go through this and was willing to do it. That to me just speaks volumes about how determined he is to get vengeance.
Yeah, Frankie, how do you agree with those sentiments?
Absolutely, and another takeaway I had from it is more so than the physical pain that it is getting lashed like that, because I've been in that situation. I've been whipped with a strap, and it's not fun. Is just the mental games that kind of MJF was playing with him out there. Like, he could have got that over with real quick, but he was deliberate. He took his time. He even let Wardlow have a shot, and he wanted to not only hurt Cody, he wanted to embarrass him, and that's kind of MJF's MO. And the kick in the balls at the very end was kind of the icing on the cake. A little bit unnecessary after what you just did to the guy. And if I know Cody like I do, he's very, very driven. He's very cerebral and methodical. All this did was pour gasoline on the fire that is him wanting revenge on MJF, and it made me even more invested in watching Cody get his hands at MJF than I already was.
And Scorpio Sky, I got to imagine your thoughts are very similar.
Yeah, Cody is a friend of ours and someone that I personally respect quite a bit, and nobody wants to see that happen to someone that you care about. And we were sitting in the back and watching, and I can tell you that every single lash I felt as I was watching it, and I just cringed on every single one. And all I can say is somewhere, some way down the line, there's going to be a day where Cody is going to get back at MJF, and I do not envy him when that day comes.
I agree with all three of you. MJF is in for a world of hurt when that happens. SCU, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky. Guys, I always love talking to you. I count you as friends. It's so good to talk to you. By the way, when you get to Austin, I've been to the Super Bowl. I went to a couple cigar parties, so I got a couple sticks. I may have your names on them when we get there. But Wednesday night at the HEB Center, Cedar Park, AEWTix.com for your tickets. Check out the contest page at hornfm.com for your chance to win tickets. But AEW Dynamite coming to the ATX Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. Guys, all the best to you. Safe travels here. I can't wait to see you when you get into town.
Thank you, Stu. Always a pleasure, man. Looking forward to seeing you.